when we talk about this perception, I read something where Guruji is saying that if something is lost, are you not there? And when something is found, are you not there? So this, when we talk about this perception, even in perception, isn't there this knowingness? I mean, there's a knowingness in this perception. Otherwise, where is perception? I mean, what would I call perception? And this knowing that, like when we just say as that solitary witness, there's no additional identity of being a person or anything like that. There's just this pure knowingness of just pure knowingness, like say the deep sleep knowingness. But isn't the same knowingness permeating everything? I mean, all my identities, even when they come and go.
Yes. I don't feel like there's a difficulty there. This knowing, the capital K, this awareness, this self, everything comes from that. Everything is made up of that. Therefore, everything is that only. There is no escaping knowingness. There is no escaping awareness. If we say that...
Yeah, so I had this misconception actually, where I felt that like when the beingness or when the person came, like the identity came, that it had some, like it had a different way of knowing. But then when I looked at, there's no different, there's this awareness is the only thing which actually only can know. There's nothing other than it which can know anything. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's why in the beginning of the session, I know you were away, but maybe you can have a look at the recording of the first Ashtavakra session. We looked at this knowing itself, what it can mean. Is it a perceptual knowing? Is it a conceptual knowing? Is it a sensational knowing, emotional knowing? Where is it that all these seemingly types of knowingness come from? What does it mean to actually know? And why is it that Janaka is asking for true knowledge, knowledge with a capital K? Because presumably everything that could be known intellectually or perceptually or sensationally, he would have known already.
That is true.
What is this knowing?
No, but the he who would have known all that intellectually or conceptually, okay, I learned it, but at the root of it, there has to be awareness, right? Without that awareness, how would there even be an identity to begin with?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nothing is possible. Can you say anything unless there is a knowingness? Can we experience anything without the knowingness? This knowingness itself is a different word for awareness. But not a mental knowing, not a perceptual knowing. That which knows even all of this. And yet all of this is only made up of that alone. Because only the self is.
So when this discovery is made that this identity which I play with as in my waking state goes away in my sleep, it's this absolute knowingness which is making this discovery. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, who is making it? I'm making it.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at this very closely. Let's look at this very. Now, as we find this, the question is, who is finding this? Did knowingness forget itself? Or did knowingness also, within its non-phenomenal functioning as the absolute, play this game of forgetting and remembering? No, it is not possible. Awareness did not forget itself. Awareness did not delude itself. This knowingness, in its phenomenal aspect, never played this game because it's non-phenomenal. You see, no game is possible. No quality, no attribute, including forgetfulness or recognition is possible there. You see? So, if it is not possible there, then who is making this discovery? Because on the other side, we say person never existed. You see? Impossible for awareness because it is non-phenomenal. impossible for person, because no person has ever existed. Therefore,
Yeah.
who is playing this game? You see? What is playing this game of delusion, identity, and then dropping delusion and identity and coming to the truth? It is this dynamic aspect itself called consciousness. All of this is God's play. God playing as if it is Jyotima, and God playing as if it is God, and God playing as if it is, or coming to the recognition that it is even beyond God. So all of this delusion and recognition is the play of consciousness. Therefore, all of satsang is to bring us to our unassociated being. Is it being? Not unassociated seeing, which is a capital S seeing. Okay, let me not use seeing, again we'll get confused. So, not unassociated awareness. You see? Awareness always is unassociated. It is its functioning, its conscious aspect, its dynamic aspect as consciousness, which takes on identity using belief and then drops identity by recognizing its own source. You see? The consciousness is as if for a long time it keeps looking at its children, its own creation, and tries to look for itself in them. See? What am I made up of? And it tries to find objects in the world. It tries to find everything here phenomenal and say, I might be made up of that. Can I find my source? Then ultimately comes to the seeing that I cannot find my source in this. I can only come to the true insight of my source when I look at that which is aware even of existence. What is it that is aware of even this existence? So who's coming? Who's making this discovery? Consciousness itself. What is it discovering? Something that it itself is made up of, its own source. Is it? Looking at its own core. It's like the finger finally turning its attention and looking at the hand. You see? Whereas so far it was just looking at its own play outwardly. So Satsang, the inquiry, who am I, is bringing us to this recognition. Us means those aspects of consciousness who are playing in this way. Consciousness coming to the recognition of its own source. We come to this absolute unchanging truth, untouched by this play of body-mind, untouched by this play of states. You see, all these four states, they come and go. We're recognizing the source. But what we are recognizing, the source never forgot itself. This awareness remains untouched, unchanged. That's why there is really nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to change. It is just a recognition. Consciousness itself is making through all of its apparent aspects. All of its apparent aspects means so that one aspect, dynamic aspect called consciousness, playing as a multitude of apparent aspects.